here tonight. But as we close on 10 to go, he finds himself in position to strike. Marty?
Well, that's because he's been in the back of the pack on purpose. Adam, crash on the track. Adam.
Just talking about got airborne. A.J. Allmendinger, Jeff Gordon, David Rudiman, Matt Kenseth all involved.
The 11 car's in there too. You know, we're just talking about how he had just come back, and they just keep beating this guy down, man.
That was two big hits, really. I mean, that second hit, when you get run into like that.
You see Denny down on the inside right there. That thing just turns right.
Yeah.
It's like something
strange.
That was really strange.
Wow. Kenseth did a great job not running into the door of the 11, but then the 51, you know, just nowhere to go.
But, you know, for Hamlin, he goes nose first into the wall. Very similar to how he hit the wall in California when he suffered that compression fracture.
Yeah, but,
but a different angle.
But watch this right here. Here he is. The two cars, there's spacing behind him. The two cars behind him. He goes there. Wow. I don't know if the two car got into the back of him and sent him to the inside and he overcorrected.
You know, it almost looked like how the car in front of him slowed down.
Good point.
And he turned to the left, and that's when it spun him around.
But then, and then obviously everybody's trying to avoid him.
Yeah. Yeah, watch Boyer. You get the 11. It looks like these guys get, you know, he just dove down.
Wow.
And then corrected maybe. Yeah, that's really a strange act. Man, Matt did a good job not hitting that car, but then he got clobbered.
See Blaney in that. And Blaney had a good run. Those guys had run in the top 10 or 15 a lot tonight in that 7 car.
Yeah.
It'll be 17 laps to go, and they come.
Here we go.
Around goes the 38, the 4, the 1, the 33.
Look out pit road. Look out pit road. Look out pit road.
The 46, the 95, and the 12.
You know, that's a place we've not normally seen the big wreck break out right in the middle of the tri-oval.
I believe with this package that through the tri-oval, when people get under you, it just loosens you up just enough to get you sideways.
Mike Bliss, Casey Kane climbs out of his car. He's okay. That's Ashton Lewis, among others. Let's see what happened here. Coming into the tri-oval to complete lap 100. Bottom of your screen.
Like Mike Wallace got a little bit loose right there like you talked, Darrell, and then came back up into the car that was on the outside of it.
He bounced off a biffle, and when he did, there was a car under him, and they got together, and then away they went.
Of course, half the field's behind him here shortly after a restart.
Boy, everybody jacked up from behind him.
Tell you what, the tri-oval here, I know people, you know, you just don't realize how you're going 190 mile an hour through a tri-oval that's got 14 degrees of banking. Can suck you around in a hurry.
This would be looking from like pit road.
Casey Kane turned around.
Typical Talladega wreck.
Yeah.
2 cars get together, 12, 13 cars end up being victim.
Yeah, Benson slammed up into the wall, and Bliss.
Well, watch that 38 car go all the way across pit lane and slam right into it right there.
In real time.
Let Mears go back by. Also, his spotter, Jeremy Brickhouse, reports to the team they think they may have some slight cosmetic damage with the crash.
Trouble in turn 1. Oh, car on its roof. Michael Waltrip. Mark Martin is in it. One of the championship contenders.
Elliott Sadler, the pole sitter of the 38 car.
Damage.
That's Mark Martin's car right there. I couldn't really tell.
No steering at all. No steering at all, Mark said, but obviously he is okay.
Sometimes he's just along for the ride. And that's what these guys in the chase especially were concerned about. They were worried about is this right here.
Just a moment ago, the 38 car, Elliott Sadler, gets bumped from behind by the 48. Around he goes in front of all that traffic. He was running second when that crash took place. And we're fortunate 20 cars were not involved.
Yeah.
Matt Yoakum.
Turn 4 when we get to the start-finish line. We will complete lap 20 today.
Rickett behind you here, Rickett.
And now we have a crash. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. involved. Tony Stewart around. And that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. through the infield grass. Carl Edwards has some damage.
Kenseth just about had it missed, and looks like he ran into the 88.
Harvick,
wow,
Johnson,
a lot of good
Kyle
race
Larson.
cars. I mean, a lot of good race cars. Guys in the points.
Wow.
3 consecutive top 5 finishes at Daytona. The 6-time champion Jimmy Johnson has damage here.
Marcus Ambrose spun, obviously drove through the grass over to the pit road.
Well, the grass is not the place you want to be today after all the rain that we've had.
For the first time, it looks like Stenhouse got a little bit squirrely. Stewart came up and got into Jeff Gordon there. Looks like Stewart was just trying to avoid the 17.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from that angle, but it looks like Stenhouse, as he gets squirrely, comes down into Tony a little bit. You see Stenhouse up next to the wall, sideways, comes down across, taps Stewart. Oh.
Yeah, no, Jeff was trying to avoid this 17 car and got into Tony Stewart.
Yeah, got in the right rear of Tony. Yeah.
Trevor Bayne, who won the 2011 Daytona 500, driving for the Wood brothers, and that 21 car got turned around. And Danica may have gotten a little bit of nose damage, but she did a hand
about a car. Oh, trouble already.
Through the tri-oval. 78 goes around. The 98, they're teammates. It's a big one at Daytona. It all started when the 78 of Cole Powell got turned sideways. Gus Dean had nowhere to go and under caution early here at the World Center of Racing.
This is exactly what these guys didn't want to do. They wanted to get some laps under their belt, just feel these things out here. The 78 definitely moved to the inside. Don't know if he had any help. Maybe it turned him sideways right into his teammate, the 98 of Gus Dean. It pushed him back up the racetrack right in front of the pack. Boy, it almost looked like there might have been a little bit of contact right there to turn that 78 sideways. If there would have been an opening down to the inside, he probably would have got away with it, but not this early in the race.
He forced it down to the left, and the thing about spun out with it.
There's the problem right there. Kyle Busch, Mike Skinner get into it. The big one happens behind him.
So Rick Crawford just could do. That's P.J. Jones right there, the 63 truck. That was on fire.
Can't believe how crazy they were.
Wow, that's
flames blowing.
That's P.J. Jones
over
right there.
the top of P.J. Jones's truck.
Looked like he already had the window net down. He's going to try to get there. There's Kyle Busch going through the infield. Chad Chapin right behind P.J.
Did you see Rick Crawford slip through there?
Yeah, sure did. There's P.J. getting out. Great to see him get out of that truck. See Kyle Busch, that's the black truck up on the outside. There's Mike Skinner on the inside of Brendan Gaughan. Kyle comes down. Now he's going to move to the inside to try to, well, you know, it's a little bit maybe Mike Skinner coming up, and Kyle could have come down a little bit, but one of those deals, and here we go, the carnage.
Well, did you see Mike come off the lap before? He fought that truck to keep it coming, keep it from going up the hill. He didn't have a choice. He couldn't turn left and get off of Kyle Busch, and when Kyle moved over, Mike already had it turned as hard as he could.
There's another view right here. You see Mike Skinner left of your screen. Kyle's going to come down a little bit to try to get by that number 8, and Mike Skinner looked like he just went up a little bit, and just enough to catch that left rear quarter of that 51 truck of Kyle Busch. This is a great view from the DirecTV blimp right here.
Oh, look at Chad Chaffin coming in there late, and John Wood too. All but had it missed.
And if it's going to affect these cars, it's going to affect them getting into turn 3. I think he just was running really fast right there, and the car just got loose.
Problems on the racetrack. The 52.
Bill Baird.
More problems. Cars coming in. We've got accidents on the racetrack.
That looks like Leilani Munter right there.
Leilani Munter involved. Numerous cars involved in this one. Coming out of turn number 2, the problems started in 2, and they continue on to the start of the backstretch. I'm doing it in the 90, excuse me.
See Bill Baird, the 52 car.
He's sideways.
Just gets sideways and tries to catch it. Catches it one time, just can't get a hold of it, and takes Steve Blackburn up to the outside wall. Obviously, these banks are self-cleaning. They're going to come down the hill. There's Tim George in the 31. Looks like he may have avoided it.
And after they come down the racetrack, then other cars thinking they were going to clear it get into this as well.
It just always amazes me that, you know, here's our big wreck, and cars are so far back, but they continue to pile in here. Watch, here comes a bunch of other cars that just did not slow down.
There's real time right here. See Bill Barry gets sideways and takes Steve Blackburn hard on the outside wall. And again, they're going to come on down the hill. And there's so much smoke there too, Darrell. And you see a lot of guys trying to take evasive action.
You know, Phil, they always told us that here comes some other cars that just can't get slowed down. They always told us in the drivers' meetings, if you get loose, crank it left and lock it down.
Yeah, that's a good view right there of all that smoke, Darrell. So all these drivers coming in here, even though they were trying to slow down, realize these cars are just about stopped, and they were trying to slow down from 180 miles an hour.